I can see the stars align, dance around the moon every night. And now my eyes are open wide, and the sky has never looked so bright. Now I don't need to see the road to believe, yeah. 'Cause this is where I'm meant to be, I believe. And I feel the magic everywhere. It's all around us, it's in the air. And I see the magic we can share. So much wonder everywhere. And I feel the magic, ooh. Can you imagine, ooh. And I feel the magic, ooh. Can you imagine, ooh. And I feel the magic. It's all around us. And I feel the magic. It's all around us. There's wonder on this winding road in front of me, yeah. 'Cause I'm right where I'm supposed to be. And I feel the magic everywhere. It's all around us, it's in the air. And I see the magic we can share. So much wonder everywhere. And I feel the magic, ooh. Can you imagine, ooh. And I feel the magic, ooh. Can you imagine, ooh. And I feel the magic. It's all around us. And I feel the
Good evening to you. Thank you, Mandy. Yes, the owl is my favourite, and it's a joy to say to people, just like the owl, I see you. I see you no matter where you are, no matter what you're doing, I see you. So let's see. Nice owl, very fitting. And yes, my favourite. Hi, Mandy. Hi, Kristen. Hi, Lisa. Karen Mack, good evening. Nice to have you here, and nice to have everyone on YouTube having a watch from there as well. You can also comment. You can also come back and comment afterwards when you watch the replay. So welcome to you. That song, were you dancing to it, or were you shuffling in your seat getting ready? Maybe you've got a pen and paper in your hand. Maybe you were off in the never-nevers, or, consumed by your mind, consumed by your thoughts. Are you able to empty your mind? Are you able to be in that gap where there is nothing? Can you do that? I know that some of you have had the experience when I used to do the burning bush meditations, the TP meditations. But during the course of your day, can you slip into that gap of nothing? No thought, no mind chatter, no noise. It's a beautiful place. And you know what? You might even slip in there without realizing. You might even be there sometimes and not know that you're there, and then you just pick up with what it is that you're going to be doing or rushing off to do, and you don't realize that you've sat in that beautiful sacred space of content, beautiful peace, really beautiful peace. The song, thanks, Karen, makes you feel warm and fuzzy. Yeah, it does. Okay, great, good evening. Yep, dancing. Go, Mandy. Well, while I was waiting for the time to come, I'd slipped into that nowhere place, and then suddenly was brought back and went, oops, look, it's after 6. So Thank you for your patience. Jackie, I see, is not in yet, but let me tell you who is. That's very apt, Mandy, because something that came as soon as I came back is to do with what the song says, and that's what we're going to talk about tonight, along with whatever else comes in. So, who are the 5 beautiful souls that will get a burst of guidance? We have Jackie, then we have Lisa, then we have Kat, then we have Kristen, and then we have Mandy. And then we have Karen if one of these drop off or do not turn up. So Jackie's not here at the moment. So hold on to your hats, because that is who will receive the beautiful burst of guidance. And it does remind me, isn't that a song, No Man's Land? I don't know, Kat. No Man's Land. I don't know. I'm curious, have to look that up now. It does remind me of, my pleasure, thank you, Kat. It reminds me of when I used to be one of the readers on another platform, another show. And initially it was really quite amazing. And then over time, I noticed that people were getting their amazing messages. And then lo and behold, they jumped straight from me to the next reader. And then to the next reader. Can I have a card? Can I have a card? Have you got a card for me? You know, when you receive guidance, it needs time to be integrated. It needs time for it to sit in wherever it needs to be in your body. And why do I say in your body? Because that's where you hold a lot of angst, grief, worry, fear, fret, overwhelm, anxiety is held in the physical body, which inevitably affects all of your different energy fields. Which comes first? Does it come from out in those energy fields into the physical, or does it come straight into the physical? Well, if it is overthinking of a busy mind that is fretful, then it begins in the mind and the mental body. And it creates a disturbance in all the cells throughout the body. So then issues come up, such as anxiety and fear. That song, that beautiful song, says, I don't need to see the road to believe it. It is actually a very spiritual reference, for want of a better word. I don't need to see my soul to believe it. I don't need to see God, the Creator, the divine, to believe it. What about you? Where are you in your belief? My mum had a fall some while ago, and she said to me that she had been praying to God for healing. And I said, why aren't you using your natural ability to heal? And she said, as well, but too late. When I believe, I say, oh, really? That's the catchy one, isn't it, Kat? That's the very low frequency human experience. I'll believe it when I see it. So Mum said she had been asking God to heal the injury from her fall, and then was quick to say that she had also been doing her healing that she's capable of doing. And in the same sentence, told me how she was going to the doctors to get some medication. And I said, you run that by me again, Mum. So you're praying to God for him to heal it. You're using your own healing ability, but you're going to the doctors to get medication. And she said, oh, well. And I said, that's a bit like kicking sand in God's face, don't you think? In 1 minute, you're saying you believe in him, her, you believe in the divine, and you're saying you believe in your ability to heal, that you can tap into your healing, but you got to go to the doctors and get medication. So which is it? Now, let me just say here that if you have got, let's see, if you've had an accident, motor vehicle, motorbike, fallen off a ladder, been knocked over, and got an arm hanging off, or you're all mangled in your face, well, yeah, you do need to go and have emergency treatment. Absolutely. 1000%. That's when you do need to do that. And that's when you can call on greater help as well. It's when you can call on the divine healing to come through while the emergency staff are working on you. But when you say, oh, yeah, I believe in God, I believe in the divine, I pray to him all the time, and I have been asking for X, Y, Z, or, oh, yeah, I believe, I know I can heal. But then you're off to a doctor, a counsellor, or whatever. What is that about? What is it you really believe in? You come into this world from a space of divine sacredness. You hold in yourself a flame of eternal divine sacredness. Why is it ignored? When we come up to challenges in our life, and we all do, because that's part of this whoop-de-doo circus here called the human experience. When we come up to challenges, where do we go first? What's the first thing we do? Hit me with it. What's the first thing we do when we come up against challenges? Freak out. That's what I can hear someone saying. Freak out, or have a dummy spit because here we go again. And you lament all the things that have already gone on. You lament how bad life is, or I've had enough. Might even blame other people. While I wait for you to tell me what that's about, I'm just going to let a certain somebody who must be obeyed in the house. There we are. It's amazing for a small animal what an incredible energy he has. Right. It's ignored because of fear. Very good. There's a four-legged someone there. That's right, Lisa. Is. So when something goes amiss in your life, maybe you lose a job, maybe you lose a partner, maybe you have to suddenly move house. So plans that you had have gone awry. Where does your attention go in those moments? Maybe you have an ongoing pain. Maybe you get constant migraines or really serious periods. Where does your attention go at those times? Hi, Tanya. Welcome. Invariably, 99.99999% of the time, your attention goes on what's gone wrong and what is wrong in your life. And quite often, guess who gets the blame or exasperation is put out to, God, why are you doing this to me? Why is, my least favorite phrase, why is the universe doing this to me? How could the universe let this happen? How could God let this happen? Where are my angels? Where are my guides now? You know, these are the sort of things that people say when life goes upside down, goes topsy-turvy. But if they were to go into that gap, that amazing gap of no thought and of silence, and really bring themselves into that eternal sacred flame, you know, the miracles that happen, the solutions that come, the answers that come, they're all there waiting. Because while you are getting yourself in a flurry about what has happened, and I'm not by any chance saying that we just don't, you know, there are times where we lose our and get in a big tantrum or a flurry. But when you are able to observe your responses, when you're on the path of recognizing there's no need to go there. So while you're in training and you're learning to really connect with that part of you, that divine part of you, yes, there will be meltdowns and there will be blame and there will be finger pointing. But the fact is that to every single problem, there is a soul solution. And the funny thing is, your loved ones that are in spirit, your guides, the angel realm, the elemental kingdom, the fairies, pixies, elves, all of them, they're all sitting watching. And they know exactly what's going on. They also know the answers. Can you imagine them all sitting around going, oh, how long is it going to take this time? Oh, let's play cards. Let's play patience because, you know, it's going to be a while. Oh, let's play chess. Long round, long series of chess. Because we've got all the time in the world before they realise. You know, they all sit around and they converse together like, oh, here we go again. Here we go again. And are they going to reach for us? Are they going to stop and listen? No. So we'll just deal some more cards. Yeah, that's the funniest part of all, is that when you're having a meltdown and you're blaming everything else outside of you and it's someone else's fault about the way your life is, the way the house is, the way you don't have a job, or why you haven't been employed, or people at work or people in the family, and you're ranting on about all this stuff, they're like, oh boy, it's going to be a long day. Let me see. Mandy, victim mode. Yes, that's a very good word for it. Karen Mack, I experience high cortisol levels find it difficult to calm myself and find myself in destructive, frustrated behavior. Well, my gosh, that's you deserve a really big pat on the back and a hug, Karen, for recognizing that behavior. So now that you recognize it, I hope you're using the steps that are in the School of Wesh to help you become the observer and help you be able to stand outside yourself and not go into that cortisol overload, not go into that frustrated, destructive behavior. Hey, you know, the humanness, the irk of what it says to be human. I think they have, how could they not have laughter? But remember, it's not laughing at you. Or already, you know, there'd be people going into meltdown modes going, oh, she's saying that they're laughing at me. And again, that is the mind of a very, very low vibration, not evolving soul at all. They never, never, never laugh at you. They find it humorous. They do also throw their arms in the air sometimes when they have come through over and over and they've put things in front of you and you just keep walking the other way. I've seen guides throw their arms up in the air like, I can't do anything with this human. And that makes me laugh. The thing is, they don't ever give up, but you do. You give up, you go external, you get into what Karen describes as destructive behavior, or Mandy says victim mode. You give up. And why? Because your belief is not real. You're not 100% in belief, which of course tags on very tightly with faith and trust. You know, so often when I work with people or even after they've been given guidance, they are full of yeah, but, or oh, I've tried that, or I've done that. And they wave it off. Yeah, but. And I think, what was the point? What was the point of them bringing through their guidance? You know, when you're offering solutions, suggestions to someone and they're just constantly throw back at you a yeah, but, or yeah, no, that won't work. They haven't even tried it, but they've decided it won't work. That again, not only is it victim mentality, which is the lowest vibration you could be on, but it is that very low vibe person that is not stepped onto the beauty of discovering that eternal, magnificent sacred flame. Just incredible. Tanya, let's see about that. So Tanya's saying everything happens for a reason. Sometimes it's a lesson in patience. Everything happens for a reason. How about we create what happens? So we could ask, what's my reason for that? What was my reason for creating me to get the sack? What was my reason for me creating such havoc in my life? Well, these are big questions, and they take a lot of courage for you to be able to step inside and go, well, actually. And sometimes it's a lesson in patience. Maybe it is. Maybe it's not. Maybe it is simply being downright stubborn victim-minded, and standing in your own way. So often, and I'll tell you, in the early days for me, I was told over and over, get out of the way and let us help. Move over, let us help. Like, what? I am. I'm not in the way. But we are. Every time we say but, every time we want to throw away something that someone has offered, then we're standing in our own way, and we're also closing the door to be able to receive the guidance and even to see it come. So as the words in the song, I don't need to see the road to believe. But that's just not the case with most people. Yeah, what can I learn? What did I create this for? What can it bring to me? You know, a young man that I've worked with for many, many years now, he took on my little phrase of saying, only that which is of my highest good comes to me. And he then used it, turned it around a bit. So if he was in front of people or meeting someone new or going for a job, he would use that phrase, but he would turn it around to suit the occasion or the event. And he lives by that. And, you know, he's just had the most amazing things come into his life. He loses somewhere to live, oh my gosh, over and over. And yet he is never without somewhere to live. The reason he loses, if we put it that way, loses the place to live is never because of him. It's because where he's been has served his highest purpose and it's finished. It served his highest self and it's finished. But instead of doing what most people do and going to melt down and freak out about, oh, what am I going to do? He steps into, bring forward that which is of my highest good. And within hours, he has places to move to every single time. And he says it's because every time something comes up about work, so when one area of his work was closing down or they decided, you know, you're last on, first off, he did the same thing. Bring forward that which is of my highest good. And the next day he had 3 different job offers. But he believes when he makes that statement, only that which is of my highest good comes to me in this moment, in this day, or bring to me that which is of my highest good where I can move to. He believes it. He means it. He doesn't just say it. He recognizes the importance of the belief and the faith. And he steps into that, and his trust is not questionable. His trust is 100%, 1,000%. So from going from my simple phrase I gave him one day about something that came up in a healing to him now adapting that to everything in his life. So even down to a conversation. If someone is talking about something that he can feel is really not sitting well in his physical body, he will say, only that of my highest good will be heard. And quite often he says the conversation just stops. He won't take it on. But it's because he believes. He doesn't throw things away. He doesn't argue, yes, but, or dismiss what is being put forward. He stays in fine-tune alignment and he feels into his body for how things are feeling when someone's talking, when an event's put forward, anything at all. And then he will ask that. Now, quite some time ago, it's well over a year, he was told in a reading session that he would be going to India. And he was told the reason that he'd be going and what it was going to benefit, if you put it in that terms. Well, today he flew to India. And not only did he fly to India, he's going to meet a man who came out from India who had also been spoken about in his reading, was it 2 years, year and a half ago? And he's meeting up with him and doing this yoga adventure in India. He never, ever dismissed, like said, oh, well, that's never going to happen. I've got no plans of going to India. Yeah, I don't know anyone that I would want to be going to India with. He didn't make up stuff. And yet I hear it all the time from the most people. They want to argue the point or dismiss what's been put forward. And that exacerbates, frustrates your guides and the angels, because when you do that, you've slipped into a really poor level of awareness, into victimhood, and very much been absorbed by this realm, this physical realm. And you become very stubborn in the ego. And you get very stubborn in the ego, nothing much can get past it. So when you do that, you've implemented your free will. And everybody, the elemental kingdom, the metal kingdom, all the 7 kingdoms, the angels, your guides are all like, oh, hands off. And they have to sit back and wait until you decide to get your act together and go, well, actually, I could probably do with some help, and I will listen and I will accept and let things come to me. So a lady came today for a reading, and I've actually known her for a long, long time, haven't seen her for a long, long time. And in her session, and the reason that I can tell you about it is because she come running back to the door. She'd got in her car. I'd closed everything. Next minute, I hear her calling me. And I went to the door and she said, you know what? You just gave me that from under a rock. So in her reading, it came forward that she was to connect more with the fairy elemental kingdom. The fairies were going to look after her and bring her anything that was going to assist her in holding abundance through this time where she is to sit and not push against the flow of things. And like most of us, her concern was money. Her concern was being able to pay her bills, which we can all relate to. And they said that the fairies would bring her incredible things from under a rock and under plants, but she was to connect with them, welcome them to work with her. Now, the exciting part for me was I felt and heard our beautiful fairy queen Anastasia, and I haven't had her come in for a while. I felt her gorgeous energy come in to talk to this lady, and it was just beautiful. And then when she was telling me at the door that what I'd given her, I'd got it from under what she called a rock. Well, a crystal is essentially a rock. So she said the fairies were already at play and that they had said it would come in the most unusual ways. She had only but to be open to it, and so do you. You have only to be open, not have your mind, your ego standing in the way, yes butting, and dismissing, but to be open to things. You know, they explained to her that the things that they would bring to her would be most unusual and in the most unexpected ways. it's a big thing, right? You're like, your mind wants to go, oh, what does that mean? What am I looking for? How will I know? Well, there you go. You step straight into your mind and straight into the power of the ego, which I'll just slip in here. I was talking to someone the other day, and I love Dr. Wayne Dyer's description of the word ego, the acronym that he created, edging God out. So you think of that every time you step into your, yeah, but no, it won't work, I haven't tried that, and you want to push against when help is being offered, guidance is being offered. Just remember, you are edging God out. So when you're edging God out, you are also removing yourself, creating a separation from your eternal flame, your sacred eternal flame of your soul. It's pretty big, isn't it? You are always in the driver's seat until you let your soul be the driver, until you let your guides, your angels, even your loved ones, even your pets in spirit can come forward and assist you in that driving seat. Does mean you have to give over the reins. It does mean that you have to move out of the way and stop being pig-headed. The trickery of this world is the fact that we believe it because we see it. We know that that's hot, that candle flame, because we can feel it. We know that water is cold because we can feel it. We know that water has a pressure because we can feel it, and because we can see it. So we know if we're going to put our hand on a candle flame, we can expect it to hurt, unless you've moved your senses a lot higher and, you can walk over flames. Hold yourself in flames. So being able to step yourself out of the sense of believe it when I see it means being able to go to that gap where there is serenity and where there is surrender. Because when you sit in that gap, it is divinely serene and it's amazing. And you come out the other side of the gap and you have answers. You may have images. When people have come to me over the years for readings and I've been able to describe the house that they're going to buy. And yes, we've had people argue, I wouldn't be buying, I would be able to afford, I wouldn't be, no, that wouldn't happen. And that just verbal vomit of wanting to argue about it. And then they've come back in whatever time frame and said, I can't believe it. I'm living in that house that you described, right down to the stained glass window in the front door. That's my expression as I speak to the angels and listen back. It's like, and even down to speaking to them about their children, and they want to argue, I think you've got them mixed up. I think you're talking about, child number 3. Well, no, the guides and guardians and the child's guides, child soul knows exactly who we're talking about. But again, stepping into the mind and letting the mind run the show is where life goes pear-shaped, is where you cannot access the visions, the messages, the abundance, and you cannot access the solutions. What was it? The stubborn ego edging God out. You can swap that out for my beautiful phrase that I welcome you to use. Only that of my highest good comes to me in any moment of this day. And when you're going to sleep at night, 3 times you say, I clear my mind of all that is not of my highest good. I clear my mind of all that is not of my highest good. And you sleep so differently. I ask, I receive the answer to XYZ when I wake in the morning. Now, your mind will jump straight to that. See, when I woke up in the morning and there was nothing there. When I wake in the morning and immediately I'm looking, I'm like, okay, where is it? Well, I've brought my ego in. I've stepped up with my ego and we're there to prove it didn't work. So guess what? The guidance you asked for that is waiting to be shown to you is blown away because you immediately stepped into, see, I knew it wouldn't work. Didn't really believe it anyway. So, how is it? How is it that I have created whatever it is that's going on in my life? Now, if you've jumped straight to someone else, if you've jumped straight to what they've done to you, oh, please put down your big, big victim torch, blow it out, and take a step back. Because none of this is about someone else. It's about you and what you have brought into your life. Take responsibility. Step it up. Okay, so this is where I brought myself to now. What am I going to do about it? What am I going to do about it? How can I access the help, the guidance, the wisdom from my soul? And I open myself to the guidance of my angelic team, my soul team, my ancestors, whoever you want to call upon. But if there is one smidgen of need to believe it to see it, it's never worked before. It's not going to work this time. I've done all this before. I'm doing this. It's not working. If there is any of that, well, just forget it. Just forget it and walk away because you're wasting your time. You're wasting your time. You're wasting the beautiful energy of the angels. Now, I know other readers would be going, oh, well, you know, the angels never mind and the guides never mind. I'm putting it into human language because essentially you're kicking sand in their face. So let's have a look at what you've got to say. Cat, beautiful, love the Fae. My backyard jungle is for the Fae. They would love that too, Cat. Oh, Tanya, very nice. I'm understanding more about how the ego works now. Yeah. It's a big thing, but if you make that your focus, then it will capture you. So awareness, more so on your wisdom. Oh, lovely, Lisa. Thank you. Lovely, Lisa. Just got a little bit there. It's really nice. Thank you. Glad you're enjoying it. I'm just going with the flow. I'm just, letting it flow on through. Oh, no. Cat Grey. Did you? Ow. Was it a bit ouchy? Bit ouchy. Thank goodness, Tanya. I'm very glad to hear that. It isn't, Mandy, you're quite right, but that's not how it works, is it? Not how it works. We always want to push back to someone else and to the past. So now Jackie hasn't joined us, so that brings us to Lisa, Kat, Lisa, Kat, Kristen, Mandy, Karen, please let me know that you are still here while I slip into this beautiful mode to bring through your lovely smash of, it's not a smash, burst of guidance. Goodness me. I'll just settle in here while you let me know that you're still here. Thank you, Mandy, Kristen, Karen Mac. Present. I'm present. Sure am. Excellent. Thank you. Karen Mac, a couple of beautiful things for you here. Hope is the wellspring that creates and drives change. So, Karen Mac, your word that you're to hold in your heart and really to hold with your hand over your heart when you want some change, you want something to change in your life, hope. Hope is your place to go. And it's not the airy fairy like, oh, I hope that's going to be okay. This message says hope, and it feels so very strong. And you place it into your heart and you place with that the I am. So hope is your wellspring that creates and drives change. Your other little phrase is I am. Now you could be I am hope, or I am a believer. You think about the words that need to follow I am and be able to feel them in your heart. Mandy, rest you first. So you are being asked to rest more, rest your mind, rest your body, and put you first. When there is no you first, you can't fill the cup for others. So you're being asked to rest and put you first. And for everyone, that is not about being selfish. You first is how you can fill your cup so that you have more than enough for yourself and others. Mandy, you deplete your cup repeatedly and there's nothing left for you. Yes, you are making changes. The guidance is to stay with that. And the request is that you rest and put you first. Kristen, you have a grandmother. She's actually from your dad's side of the family. And she's very impressed with your creations, she says. And she was showing me jars, food jars. So she's very impressed with your creations with food. And she's thoroughly enjoying watching over you. Now, she says you can call on her for things that you want help with. Don't whinge. Call on her and be very specific with what you would like her help with. But she's very impressed with you. The other thing for you, Kristen, is get waterlogged, soggy. You're retaining fluid. So you need to pay attention to your lymphatic system, also your digestive system, and be mindful. Be mindful of any kind of water retention and a soggy feeling. Really look after yourself. Kat, immersion is your word. Immersion, and the immersion that they're asking of you is into your senses, specifically the sense of smell. For you, the sense of smell, the reason that this is being asked is it's the doorway to the pineal gland. And as you are moving through a transitionary time, it's more about you being able to connect to your third eye with even greater clarity and go beyond where you've been before. And it's through your sense of smell that you will be able to do that. You'll find that your sense of smell will become very, very accurate and you'll have a lot of pungent smells. But it's not because there's something wrong. It is actually the opposite. It's because your sense of smell is working very, very acutely, very well. So immersion, Kat, is your word. Lisa, let go, move past the past. That's a pretty strong phrase, isn't it? Let go, move past the past. And this can be to the tiniest things. So become more aware of the conversations, the people, that you're spending time with and references to the past. They're asking you to come more into the present, being present and really immersing yourself into the present. There's also a gift of a handbag. This is coming from spirit. So there is a loved one in spirit that is looking for a particular handbag for you. So when you get a left field gift and someone says, I don't know why I'm giving this to you. You came to mind. This is for you. Please graciously accept it because it is a gift from spirit and you will know who when you receive it. Okay. You're very welcome, Kat. Oh, you're welcome. Time for thank you, Gwenda. You're very welcome, Kat. a pleasure. Pleasure, Mandy. And Kristen, thanks, Gran. Oh, she was Gran as well. So am I. In fact, it was my nickname, Granny Smith. Hope, thank you. You're very welcome. Very welcome. Every one of you, very welcome. Thank you for being with us tonight. And I wish you all a beautiful evening and a nice week ahead. Next week, no Soul and Beyond next week. So I'll look forward to seeing you the following week. You'll see the link come up for when the next Soul and Beyond is on. So everyone, God bless. Take good care of you, and I'll see you soon.